Hey guys, it's Angela and Jim here from Dragonfly Sales Homestead. You would know us from Dragonfly Sales Urban Homestead, which is what this whole introductory video is about. We took the plunge and we left California and we moved to Kansas. So, we ended up buying 18 acres out in rural Kansas, not too far from a bigger city, so we're not like out in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
As you can tell by the plane flying overhead.
Yeah. So we wanted to take a little time and just tell you a little bit about everything that's happened. We were doing our urban homestead, as you know, in California, just right outside of San Diego. And those of you that followed us when we were actually doing videos on a regular basis know that in late August of 2021, I lost my mom to COVID. And my dad got it too, and he hadn't been doing very well health-wise since then. So a lot of things just kind of fell into place at the right moment, and we got the opportunity to purchase this piece of land. We had actually started looking.
Yeah, well, earlier in the year I had been let know by my employer that my job was going to be phased out. He was downsizing the company, and after working there for a number of years, I was going to be looking for a new place of employment, and this was something that it all kind of lined up properly. Angela had a friend here from her childhood days that was a realtor, and she started looking for a piece of property for us, and believe it or not, we bought this property without ever laying eyes on it in person.
Yep, we just trusted our realtor to show us everything by video, and it was pretty much the opposite side of the larger city that we're close to than we actually started out looking. But it's got a lot of unique features that we'll start showing you over the coming weeks that really just made us fall in love with it and seemed to us to be the perfect place to go ahead and start our regular homestead instead of an urban homestead. So we bought the property in June of last year. We saw it for the first time 4th of July weekend. And then the end of July, I moved out here with Zeke, our German Shepherd, and the cat. And so I was on my own for 4 months out here because Jim had to...
I had some projects that I was finishing up for my employer, and had to button up the house that we sold in San Diego. Luckily, we were able to sell that rather quickly with the market being what it was, even though we missed it a little bit, but we are still happy with the proceeds, and it was able to get us the down payment on this house and the property and get us started on what we ultimately want to do, is be a little bit more self-sufficient and live that homestead lifestyle. We tried to get that going in San Diego, but any of you who have ever been there, it's not that easy in suburban San Diego on a half an acre.
Yeah. So anyway, this is our dream. This is what we've been working toward for about 2 years. Jim wasn't able to join me until 2 days before Thanksgiving was when he finally got to move out here. So we've just been here for basically 2.5 months together.
Yeah.
And I did a few things on the homestead, basically just kind of keeping up the yard a little bit. There wasn't much else I could do. And now that we're here together, we're starting things. We're getting into the swing of the spring planting. We're going to have to learn a whole new zone, because this is zone 6B. It's actually right on the line of zone 7 and zone 6B. So I've got to learn a whole new way of gardening. And me being me, I was gung-ho. I wanted to do chickens and goats and cows in the garden and everything right off the bat. And Jim reined me in. And so we probably will not get any livestock this year. This year we're going to focus on getting the garden going, hopefully building a greenhouse, getting seedlings going again, because I have to learn this whole new climate again. Whereas in San Diego, I was able to just do them on our back porch, screened-in back porch. Now I've got to learn how to do things in Kansas. I grew up in Kansas, so this is what I was used to growing up. Jim grew up in Connecticut. but had been in California for 28 years. So we're going to start this whole new experience together, and we will gradually start showing you the property. The first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of things that are just right around the house. And then as I said, as we go on, we will slowly start moving more and more out in the property and show you what we have. So hopefully you'll enjoy our new channel. You can still reach us by using the old URL, but we have the new URL which drops the urban in the homestead. And so I hope you'll subscribe if this is the first video you've seen of us. Hit that like and share it so we can start really growing our channel.
Yeah, come along with us. We're gonna transform this property. The former owners took good care of the house
Really
and the
good care.
property, but it hasn't been used as a homestead. It hasn't been living up to its full potential in our estimation anyway.
Right.
So we're going to be doing a lot of firsts, a lot of things. Folks that are thinking about trying to do this, you'll see me struggling as I learn to buy a tractor and learn how to use it properly, and various other projects here on the homestead. So we hope that you'll stay with us, and if you could just give us a like and a subscribe and hit the bell so that you know that when we have a new video out.
All right, guys, now if you'll join me, I'm going to take you on a little tour. Okay, so now that we have let you in on what we've been doing, an overview these last few months, we want to give you a quick tour of the property. This is not going to be an in-depth tour. I'm just going to give you mainly the area around the house and a little panoramic view of some of the rest of it. But we wanted to give you a start on seeing what we're doing. So this is looking from the north to the south. We have a dirt road in front of our house. And Zeke's exploring. This is the first time he's been allowed to cross the street. So this is all our property along here. This is a wonderful blackberry bush, and we're getting ready to trim it down this week. We'll be pruning it back and getting it ready, and we're going to plant some more blackberry bushes and raspberry bushes, and we'll have some blueberries. We have big plants. Come on, Zeke. Come on. Okay. So this is looking north, and our property goes clear to the edge where you see that yield sign down there. And we are actually on a county line. The north edge of our property goes into the next county. We have 18 acres, as I said. And we will just give you a little overview. This is looking to the north of the property as I'm walking up the driveway towards the house. I wish I'd gotten some video before last week, because we actually, my cousin came up with the brilliant idea that because we have 18 acres and because the 4 months I was here by myself, even though we had a riding lawnmower, it was a lot for me, and I kept it up around the house, but there was just no way I could get the whole property. So my cousin told me, and I posted on Facebook in a chat group for the area that we're in, and we actually had somebody come and mow it for free, and they were able to, even though I'd mowed about 4 or 5 acres, they were able to get 15 bales out of it that they got free for their cattle. So they just picked it up. So here is looking to the south. Our property goes quite a ways back there. Bring in a little bit. That building back there, the ag building, is not ours. That's on our neighbor's property. None of the trees are super mature here. They added the trees. They added over 300 trees, she said her husband put in. So that was the one unfortunate piece about the property, is we would have liked to have had some tree stands and just more of the mature trees, but unfortunately that didn't work out. One of the things we're dealing with this year, if I can get a picture of it on one of the trees, I've been trying to get them where they're down low, but one of the things is, as you can see there, we're dealing with bagworms. So we've had 2 stretches where it was below 0, so we're hoping that's going to help some. And that's something we're definitely going to have to try and take care of right away, so we don't end up losing trees. So down here is Jim's workshop, and it is about 25 by 50, and he's going to give you a tour of that in another video, and we'll let you see that. He's working on that because it was not insulated and no heating, no air conditioning. So here's the back of the house, and you can see all the hills back there. Hills, I use that term loosely, as Jim would say, for Kansas. And we'll do a front view of this where you'll be able to see. This is the pig's weed, and that's what we're doing today, is we're actually taking that out. Because this is where my medicinal and my culinary herb garden is going to be. And we have just a little porch back there. I'm going to walk around this way. Y'all, it's just so peaceful out here, coming from right outside of San Diego. I mean, I was Kansas born and raised, but this is just so wonderful to be back out here. This has always been my dream, to have something like this. So we've got the back of the house here, the back of the shop here. And we actually have these trees form kind of a lane of sorts. And as you look up them, that is the only gate we have on the property other than our driveway. So that's how we have to get into the back part. And then the fence back there that you can probably just barely see is our fence line. So there's our little garden shed. The people before us actually used it as a chicken coop, but they hadn't used it as a chicken coop in a while, so it needs a lot of repairs, and we're going to keep it as a garden shed, and we'll build a chicken coop separate. But I had to make a decision on a chicken coop or if we're going to work on a greenhouse this year, and I chose to do the greenhouse for reasons that I'll go into later. We did bring the boat. We are only a couple of miles from where there is a sailing club and a reservoir, and so we're excited about that because we're going to be able to sail and join the sailing club. So Jim will be able to have a little piece of California. And then back here is our shooting berm, which we're also really excited about, that we're going to be able to do our own target practice, and we're going to fix this up. It will be made a lot nicer and be able to use it more. Put some gravel and different things in. We have lots of plans. So this is looking out towards the back. There's a closer up view of the shed. Lots of purple martin houses. Unfortunately, we're not sure how they took them down and cleaned them because they're not on like the telescoping poles. So that's something we're going to have to figure out, is how we're going to be able to use those. We do have birds in them right now. Not sure if they're purple martins or not, but even though it's cold here, they are using them. And so I'm going to take you to the back of the house, and then that's probably what we're going to do for today. As far as we're going to stick around the house, and then the next video we do is the one that I'm going to do where you'll be able to see the pond and the creek and the rest of it. So here's looking up at the house. Okay, so there you go, some more. Zeke is having a ball. The California dog loves having room to run, going from a half an acre to 18 acres. He is just having the time of his life.